Hey guys, so welcome back to Pandas Data Diaries with another episode today focusing on some math related topics. So thanks for joining, highly appreciate it. And today I want to focus on doing some math in a Jupyter Notebook. Not really doing math, but it's more about a way of writing up a nicely formatted formula using LaTeX inside a Jupyter Notebook. So let me show you how to do this. So, as you will know, when you're watching this channel, you can do some calculations using Python by just typing them in the cell, in a code cell, and hitting confirm, and it will just give you the output. Nothing spectacular until here. But if you want to write up an entire formula using LaTeX notation, by the way, if you're not sure about LaTeX notation, you can just Google it. There's plenty of material available online on the topic. You can also do this in a Jupyter Notebook. So let me show you how to do it. I'm opening a new cell here, and you have to type in $2. And within the dollar sign, you can use standard LaTeX notation. For example, I could put in the square root over here. So it's backslash square root, and then curly braces. And inside the curly brace, you put the value you want to get the square root of. So let me confirm this, and I'm getting an error. Why am I getting an error? Because this is a code cell. In order to display LaTeX, it has to be a markdown cell. So I switch to the markdown cell and put out again. So this is a standard way of displaying it in a formatted way. I can put in all kinds of notations in here. For example, let's get the exponential. Again, it's dollar dollar. Inside the dollar, you just put in the LaTeX notation. So here we have x, use the caret for exponentials. And again, the curly braces, inside them, you just put in the values. And again, it has to be a markdown cell. So switching to markdown, confirming, there you go. You have this term with an exponential. Let me give you another example. For example, we can put in a fraction in here. So that would be, again, dollar dollar, and then frac. And for a fraction, you need two curly braces for the numerator and for the denominator. So on top, we have the numerator, just putting in 1.5, for example. Switch it to a markdown cell, put out, and you will get 1/2 over here. Great. You can also put out Greek letters, which you will be using a lot when you're writing up math formulas, I guess. So you have, again, dollar dollar. And by the way, this $2 is when you're using the formula in line, like within the sentence. For example, I can write up, these are some Greek letters, for example. And inside, I just put in the LaTeX notation, for example, alpha, beta, and gamma. And switching back to Markdown and put it out. And you see it will display it in line. Whereas the other option to display LaTeX is using $2, like at the beginning, and two closing dollar signs. And this means the entire cell is used to display LaTeX code. So this cannot be used inline. It also displays it formatted at the center of the cell. For example, I just put in, again, square root over here. You saw it like this. Don't forget to choose Markdown and put it in. You see it displays it at the center. If you write up a more complex formula, probably you want to go for this approach. Speaking of a more complex formula, let me actually write up an entire formula using LaTeX notation so you see how it's used in practice. And by the way, we call this formula the midnight formula. I will let you know later why this is the case over here in Germany. So again, starting with $2 and two closing dollar signs, changing to Markdown. Let's go. So we have x equals, and by the way, you can also guess if you know what it is. Put in the fraction over here. So we have a fraction surrounding everything, and we start with minus b, and then we go plus minus. This is the shortcut for writing up plus minus sign. going for square root, opening the curly braces again. Inside the curly braces, we have b squared minus 4ac. This should be it. And bottom, we have 2a. And now let's see if it actually works. Bam! There we go. It worked right away. So after seeing this printed out now, it might ring a bell. This is the quadratic formula, which can be used to solve a quadratic equation. So let me write up one for you. Again, $, switching to Markdown. So if you want to solve a quadratic expression such as this, ax squared plus bx plus c in standard form, you can use this quadratic formula to solve for x, this one. So now to answer the question, why do we call this midnight formula over here in Germany? Solution: because every student needs to remember this by heart. Even if they wake up at midnight, they need to be able to write up the entire formula from scratch. That's it. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon.